one of the things you talk about is what we must overcome to be worshipers of God, because I know there are people that feel like they hit a brick wall, and there's a reason for that. Would you kind of go in that a little bit?
Yeah, first of all, we have to overcome laziness, and I think, but here's a relational and emotional laziness. So this is Matthew 22. They asked Jesus what the most important commandment was. Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is you shall love your neighbor as yourself." So he says, love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Okay. So our bodies were created to love God. Our minds were created to love God. Our spirits were created to love God. Our emotions were created to love God. The number one reason that we were created was to love God. And Jesus said, on those two commandments, hang all the law and the prophets. Well, that was their Bible. And the word hang there means like a nail on the wall that you hang a picture on.
Oh, wow.
If you understand love, loving God and loving people is the interpretive key to the entire Bible.
It's true.
Everything God has to say. And so a lot of times we become kind of, I'm talking about me earlier, emotionally lazy. I was emotionally lazy with Karen. And it's kind of like you fall in love and you're passionate and everything, and then after a while you begin to take each other for granted, and you don't say the things that you said when you were falling in love. You don't do the same things. You become lazy. You take each other for granted. We can do the same thing with God. The other thing is misconceptions about God. I didn't understand God. I think a lot relate to God based on our earthly father. But in David's case, when he was bringing the ark into Jerusalem, they first of all put it on a cart, an ox cart, and Uzzah reached out and touched it, and God struck him. Well, David went home mad. David went to Jerusalem, and he was kind of sulking in Jerusalem because he thought, hey, God, I'm doing you a favor. You know, I'm moving you into your favorite city here, and you're killing my men. And when he got to Jerusalem, the Lord convicted him and said, the Philistines carried me on a ox cart, and I allowed it because they're heathens.
Yeah.
But the priest, the presence of God only comes in on the shoulders of sanctified priests. So David sanctified the priest. They went out and got the Ark of the Covenant, and they brought him in. And what David realized is he is a loving God, but I disrespected him. See, I didn't respect him the way that I should have. And so when I got saved, I didn't honestly believe that God knew me. I knew that God so loved the world that, you know, he gave his only begotten son. So I thought, well, I'm a part of the world and he loves me. I really didn't think he knew my address, and that he knew anything personally about me. As I began to grow in the faith and began to worship, what I realized, and I thought God was kind of austere. You know, I didn't want to get too close to him. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, you know, he was the flashing head. And I just didn't want to get too close to him because I didn't think he liked me. And as I grew in the Lord, what I realized was how precious the Lord is. He's so lovable. He's so real. So loving. But you only get that in his presence.